All right, today we're going to crack open the latest financial report from Borosil Scientific Limited. We're looking at the quarter that ended on September 30th, 2024. Our mission? To find the story hidden inside all those numbers and really see how the company's doing. Now, I know what you might be thinking. A financial report sounds kind of dry, right? But trust me, these things can be a total page turner. They tell a story about big wins, tough challenges, and the real health of a business. So let's read between the lines and figure out what's really going on. First things first, we're diving into the company's unaudited results for the second quarter. You and me, we're going to be data detectives. We'll sift through all the figures to pull out the most important clues about Borosil Scientific's latest chapter. So let's get right to the most important question for any company. Are they making money? I mean, at the end of the day, that's the bottom line, right? It's the ultimate test of how they're performing. Okay, so the first number that jumps out at us is this one. 87 crore rupees. That's their total revenue from operations for the quarter. Think of this as their top line. It's all the money that came in the door from sales. It's a solid number for sure, but it's just the start of our story. Because, you gotta spend money to make money. The company's total expenses for the same period were about 78.1 crore rupees. This covers pretty much everything. The cost of materials, paying employees, rent, you name it. So you take the money that came in, you subtract all the money that went out. And what are you left with? This. A net profit of around 7.7 crore rupees. This is the good stuff, the money the company actually gets to keep. So here it is, laid out, plain and simple. You start with your revenue, you take away your expenses, and what's left is your net profit. For Borosil, this quarter, that math worked out pretty well for them. Okay, so we know the company as a whole is in the black, but Borosil isn't just one big thing. It's actually made up of a few different parts. So the question is, how does each of those parts play a role in the bigger picture? This is the next logical step in our little investigation. Seeing the total revenue is great, but the real magic happens when you figure out which parts of the business are actually bringing in the cash. That's where you find the real story. And you can see here, the business really has two main engines. The scientific segment is the big one, bringing in about 56.4 crore rupees. Then you've got the glassware segment with around 29.4 crore, and a much smaller others category making up the rest. But hold on, because this is where our story takes a really fascinating twist. Just because a part of the business makes a lot of money in sales doesn't mean it's actually profitable. To find the real hero here, we have to dig one level deeper. And bam, this is it. This is the real story. The scientific segment isn't just the biggest, it is a profitability powerhouse, pulling in a massive 17.4 crore profit. But now, look at glassware. Even with all that revenue, it actually lost 2.3 crore rupees this quarter. Whoa, that means the scientific division is pretty much carrying the entire company's profit on its back right now. Profit is great, but it's really just a snapshot of a moment in time. To get the full picture of a company's stability, we need to look at its foundation, the balance sheet, to check for any long-term strengths or weaknesses. And one of the best ways to do that is with something called the debt-to-equity ratio. All that really means is it tells us how much of the company is funded by borrowed money versus how much is funded by the owners. A higher number can mean more risk. So, what's Borosil Scientific's ratio? It's 0. That's right, 0.00, according to their own report. That is a huge statement. It means the company is running with basically no debt at all, which gives them an incredible amount of stability and freedom. And that debt-free foundation gives them a ton of flexibility. You can actually see signs of that strength when you compare this quarter to the last one. What's so interesting is that even though their revenue actually went down a bit, their net profit went up. That suggests they got more efficient, finding ways to make more profit from less sales. That's a sign of really solid management. Okay, so we've looked at the profit, we've broken down the business segments, and we've checked the foundation. Let's step back and put all these puzzle pieces together. What's the big picture story this report is telling us? So here are the key things to take away. 1, the company is making a solid profit. 2, the scientific division is the absolute star of the show, driving almost all of that profit. 3, the glassware segment is a weak spot right now, losing money despite decent sales. And 4, all of this is built on a super strong, debt-free financial foundation. And all of this leaves us with a big question looking forward, doesn't it? The company has a rock-solid, debt-free base and a powerful profit engine with its scientific division. So the challenge is crystal clear. Can they use that strength to fix the underperforming glassware segment? Well, that's the story we'll be watching in the quarters to come.